Hello everyone. I'm not sure whether this is going to be a standalone video or a very short beginning to another video, but anyway, it's evening time, nearly late afternoon anyway, on Sunday. I am gonna wash Dotty because when I collected her from the body shop I had to bring it back on the trailer in the snow, and the roads had all been salted, so there's still salt corrosion built up on the front there, which all needs to get washed off before this beautiful car goes rusty. So that's mission one, but that coincides with me wanting to do a final waterproofing check on the car before I start fitting the interior. I know that it's going to leak here because of that seal needs to be moved forward. I'm hoping when that trim is in, that will give it enough push to seal on the door. But this is a great opportunity anyway to just check waterproofing on the car. But before I do, I want to have one last go at putting wax in these doors, because although I have hydrated them, I have then filled them with dinitrile until it ran out the corners. It's just, I don't know, my OCD. That is a big drum of quality wax oil stuff that I got from the body shop, proper stuff. So I'm going to go get a brush, decant that into a little pan and warm it up so it really flows, and then paint it in all the door bottoms. Then I'm going to wash the car and hopefully check for leaks, and then when it's dry I'll do sort of rust protection stuff in the front of the bonnet down there and the front of that panel, just again with the brush and that stuff. Just put the that may not be working as well as I'd hoped. That's boiling water, that's the thick gloopy wax. It's now super thin because it's warming up, which will mean a lot easier for me to paint in there. I thought it was, I thought the pot had split and it was filling with water. It's not, it's just the lighter fractions of the whatever it is becoming liquid before the heavier stuff. Cool, well that's worked. Excellent, so I can dribble that in there, hopefully it will go everywhere and Dotty will be protected forever and a day. I have to say this is working quite well, even though I've got the door interiors in. It's liquid and runny enough so I can paint it in like so, and it's definitely creeping in places. In fact, I think it's even running out the door like that. So that is good, we like that progress. I can even shove it right up there. Goody. Well, maybe you'll have to imagine it, but I can see it. As I say, this is overkill because I've already done this all once with dinitrile with a spray bottle, but you know, when in Rome. Oh fuck. Nearly lost my paintbrush. Oh, cock ends. Damn it. I'm also painting all of these seams where the door skin goes back in, because that's an area where it will love to rust. So I can clean all over spray or over dribble, whatever you want to call it. I can do all that afterwards. As long as it is protected, I don't care. Rear doors are a lot easier to get access into because the regulators are a lot smaller. I mean, I'm really needn't have bothered. This thing is absolutely drowned in dinitrile already, but might as well. I know that corner you can't get to it with the paintbrush, but the aerosol I know did, because it drained out of that hole, so it must be well and truly gobbed. I know this looks messy, but I'd rather it was messy and I'd clean it up than not protected. You can see this is actually salt sitting on top of the paint, so it shows you how far it goes. I might actually do these bits as well. I'll do it properly when the car gets its sill covers, but that sort of area will benefit from that. Anyway, you get the idea. Wax applied. I'm going to get the worst of the salt and just grub off with a high pressure hose. Not a real high pressure, I mean just my domestic one, and a shitty old sponge, but that will not be touching any of the nice bodywork. I've got a brand new sponge there and some zip wax to do the rest of the car. I hate washing cars. Giving it all a liberal dousing. Anywhere I think there could be potential for leaks. I know the windscreen's good, I know the scuttle's good, I know the roof's good. Most of that's all okay. It's that window there I'm a bit worried about, but I know that I've got to fix that, and that seal there. But there might be other places. So we should just go round and round. This also helps to get the worst of the crap off before I then touch it with a brand new sponge and zip wax. Kind of paranoid about the paint now. Not used to having super nice cars. Dotty is clean. It's time for leak time. Nothing at the front. I wasn't expecting anything at the front because that's always been really good. That seal all the way around has not been breached, apart from maybe there a bit, but we're not so worried about that. This is the one I was most worried about. Oh right, it would have helped if I'd fitted that in the first place properly. We have splattering here. Where has that come from? Right, it ain't sealed in there. Sealing all the way along there. Again, I knew that wouldn't seal, and that's why that is wet. We have those are paint runs. Oh, that's water, but I think that came from here. We do have a leak in there, which is probably that bit that I was worried about, but I can sort that. Nothing in the boot as far as I can see, which is a result. And looking at the tailgate, leak free, good. Again, there's water coming in there from here, so that's probably coming in through the top. I've got some of that Captain whatever's magic potion which you pour into cracks and it seals them, so I'm not too worried about them. That door seal doesn't look so hot, but it hasn't actually flooded that area. Oh yes it has, right, that's annoying. So that door seal wants attention. Well, that one, dry. So both front door seals are good, all the front's good. My only problems are the tops of both rear doors and the tops of these quarter lights, but I'll take that. I know about them, so really there's nothing stopping me putting the interior in. I'm very pleased with the tailgate. That's a result. Usually that would be pissing out of here or along there, and it's all bone dry, which is great news. It's the next morning. I've just hoovered out the car and tidied up the wiring in a couple of places. I'm now going to refit the foamy bits that sit in and around here and protect the carpet. So I've got a bit of spray adhesive. I'm also going to spray that bit and gob it on just to cover the heel board before the main cabin carpet goes down. Well, it's action stations. Carpet is lovely and hoovered. I've been with my mate fanning around in here a little bit more. dash is all cleaned up and looking much nicer. Still needs a proper detail, but got the worst of the grub off, or he did, before we put the carpet in and dropped more grub on it. That's glued in, these little pads are glued in. Now I'm just going to clean up all the seat mounts, give them a lick of paint. I've put the heater vent panels back in, so we're not so far away from putting the carpet in. Got one seat in, centre console in, straighten the gear lever, carpet obviously. These seats are a right pain. Basically the mounts are handed or sided, and I'd forgotten that, so I actually had to take them all out again and swap them around. This seat is in loosely. Still got to do up the brackets at the front. But yeah, I'm loving the green and the brown. I think that's really cool actually. Very 70s. And of course it all matches the dash. There's a few more vents to go in the front, and obviously glove boxes and things, but that's not going to happen until I'm happy all wiring's okay. And I've still got to swap that accelerator pedal. Both front seats in, bolted down. It's now squeaky bum time. I'm going to fit the stainless trims to the gutter rails, which is not a fun job to do. I've got some cavity wax stuff warming in a tray of hot water to try and protect the paint and the back sides of these trims. One thing that nobody seems to do apart from me is I always take a sander and I sand the ends of these off. This one isn't so bad, but they hook over quite a lot, and sometimes that will dig in and scratch the paint. So I'm just going to take a sander and nip that back a bit so that there's less chance of me scratching the paint when this goes on. It has been a great success. This stuff painted on the back side of the trim. Here is owner looking very smug and happy. Both are now done and on. I've refined my technique again. Every time I do it I sort of learn a bit more, but I start with the rear ones, get the rear aligned level there, bend that on, and then work my way forward. The front one I again start here and then work back. I had to actually sand off totally forgot where we got to. I think when my battery ran out I was talking about having done the stainless trims. It's a horrible job. I thought it was going to go terribly, because it usually does, but it went okay. And I think just having two people, I've only ever done it by myself before, having two people definitely helps. It is a pain. You have to get part of the moulding under the lip and sorry, no, it sits on top and then you roll it underneath, but it is a real fiddle. You need a lot of hand strength and finger strength to do it. You can't hit it with anything because it will just dent it. You can't even hit it with the palm of your hand. I was using that hammer, but only on the lower lip edge, which is quite strong. What else did we do? Cleaned up the front bumper. It was a new old stock bumper, but it had some like tarnishing, so that's all been cleaned up. Skeletal bonnet badges on. A lot more of the interior is in. It's not finished obviously, and it all needs a damn good clean, but we have lovely seats. These really are nice. It's so hard to find decent interiors for SD1s. This is low mileage stuff. It has some sun bleaching, but other than that it's really good. There's no fag burns, there's no splits, no tears, no nothing like that. In here we have genuine deep pile Van den Plas overmats. You don't get a driver's one because they interact with the pedals, so they never had them. It's a bit weird, but you only have 3. In the back, again, the deep pile over mats. The rear seat backrest is in and bolted down. These are just loosely placed because still got work to do in here. The new headlining is in the other room, it's in the house. Got all the post covers. I'm still debating about rear seat belts because Dotty did have them, but I can't actually find part of it at the moment, and the trim that went on the pillars has been kind of brutalized, so I don't know, it might end up as a non-rear seat belt car, but we shall work that out later. But yeah, the car is really coming along now. Period correct tax disc thingy. I've found some of the pipes. Just need to find the P-clip bracket which goes down here and the bracket for in there. Other than that, that's all good. There was a question previously on whether this should have a fan shroud, and basically no. The cars of this era that were V8s that didn't have aircon or weren't for foreign markets didn't have fan shrouds, so Dotty's not having one. What else? I did a bit more wax oiling in the front there. Scuttle grills are in. And really, she's coming along nicely. Once I've done the oil change, I can put the underbelly panel in, and then the fog lights, and then fun and games trying to wire those up. But yeah, sorry I didn't show so much of today. It was just one of them days trying to get on with things rather than talking. The steering wheel is a brand new old stock in bay leaf green, and yeah, it's not the right colour for the car, but it actually works quite nicely because it's green with the green body but with the brown, so it's dark, so it's actually quite nice. By the time everything else in here is brown, it might look a bit funny, but trying to find a brown one that has perfect... oh yeah, it's me. I thought it was a stain, it's actually my blood, sorry. Yeah, I'm rambling now because I'm really tired. The gear selector, that's all in and done. I had to recut the thread on here and straighten it, but that's done. Then the choke is all in and wired up. That will get bolted in, but I'm leaving it because I haven't finished the wiring in there yet, so I'll do that later. The spark right system is still in. I will have to chop it out. It's up in there. I don't know whether you can see that or not, but that's where it hides. But yeah, it's been a good day. I'm tired and I'm going to go away and do something else now, probably tidy up. See you later.